What is your favorite memory of your childhood?
My favorite, oh my goodness sakes, going to school, and my brother next door than me always took care of me.
Which brother?
Huh?
Which brother or brother?
Gene.
Gene?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was his nature, and of course I accepted it, I guess, all the time.
Sure.
So,
Going to number 6 school?
I started out at Frazier, number 5, and when I went to Frazier, I rode behind Toe on his horse most of the time.
Really? Ah. All right.
Because he went to Frazier, and that's where I had to start.
Uh-huh.
At number 5? That's where you started?
No, Frazier. Frazier had a school.
Oh, okay.
You didn't know that probably.
No, you haven't showed me that.
Well, I don't have any pictures, I don't think, to show you. You know, things like that were kind of scarce
Yeah.
at that time, yeah.
How long were you at Fraser?
Well, I think just the first grade, because second grade I was at Gower,
Ah.
and Gower School, and I went to a teacher's name is Lake.
Hmm.
Her name was Lake.
Hmm.
And her husband was a algebra teacher in high school,
Hmm.
and she was a second grade teacher.
Uh-huh.
Or first or second grade. Second grade, I think.
And how long were you at the Gower School? You started there in second grade, you said?
I went there to the second grade. My parents moved again, and I went there in the, I don't know, it was sixth grade, I think. I'm not sure what it was. I think it was sixth grade. And after they moved, threw me into another grade in school.
Uh-huh. Was it still the Gower School?
Yeah, that was Gower School.
All right.
I was in a country school in the fourth grade.
Oh, okay. All right.
I went to number 5.
Number 5 in the fourth grade. Okay.
Yeah, I remember that for sure. I attended number 6. Well, Don was still in school, and he always took me by the hand and drugged me to school back because he walked faster than I did. But we walked to school. We were, probably less than 2 miles
Uh-huh.
from school. And of course, we always walked.
Yeah.
Except when Toe had his horse.
Well, I rode with Toe part of the time on his horse.
Yeah.
And he had a beautiful pony,
Hmm.
riding pony. They always kept him in a good horse.
Yeah.
And I rode behind him
Hmm.
part of the time,
Yeah.
not all the time.
When you were growing up on the farm with your parents, how did they go to the grocery store or go get groceries? Did they have a horse and wagon, or did they have a car? Or how did you travel when you were a kid at home?
Very little. Well, let's see. If we had a car, but I remember coming from St. Joe in an old Dodge. We used a wagon and horses, a pair of horses, a lot to go to church and things like that. And it was nothing unusual for people to come on in a wagon with horses when I was little. And we just parked in the church grounds, didn't matter where. But and we nearly always went to church.
Which church, Mom?
The First Baptist, the Baptist church. It is called the Baptist church.
In Gower or Fraser?
No, it was nearer Frazier than any little named place.
Right.
It was south of Frazier. Well, it was pretty close, probably about a mile. I don't know exactly.
Hmm.
I'll show it to you sometime.
All right. Is that church still there?
I think it is
Where were you living? On a farm or in town?
on a farm out there. Yeah, Grandpa's farm.
Grandpa's farm.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Your grandpa,
Grandpa Thacker.
Grandpa Factor.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And we lived a couple of miles from school.
uh-huh.
And he had that farm that well, Grandpa owned the farm, we rented it, yeah.
Ah, okay. What was your granddad's first name?
William Thacker.
William Factor. Just like your dad.
His name was William Robert, and my dad's name was William Theodore.
Right, William Theodore. Right.
Yeah, and I always think Mom was a leader. She, what I want to say, she's the one that whatever she said went over what my dad said. She was what do you call a person like that?
Matriarch of the family.
I don't know, maybe so. I don't know those big words, Bill.
What chores did you have at home, Mother? When you were a kid at home with all your brothers and your one sister, what chores did they give you to do?
My mother did about all the chores. I did all the work. She was not a person to assign the duties to the kids. And that was not, and I said, that's one thing I'm gonna do when I get married and have any kids. I'm gonna have them do certain things. Did I?
Yes. Yes, I learned to wash dishes and iron real well.
You wanted to?
No, I said I learned
Oh,
to wash dishes.
I don't think anybody ever wanted to wash dishes. Oh, yeah. When I was in 8th grade, the last 6 weeks of my 8th grade, we moved to town. And that was hard on me because Gower School was consolidated and more cityfied, and I was country. And I thought that was hard to change.
I'll be darned.
You know,
Yeah,
it is. You have to stop and think about it.
yeah.
City kids' school teaching is a little different than the country school. Because we have all 8th grades in the country school, and we only had, what was it, 2 in each class in town.
How about that?
I believe I may not be exactly right on that. I think I am. It's off the top of my head, I think I am. Oh, well, my difficulty was it was a different kind of lessons assigned to you in high school than it was in grade school. Grade school, we had a different book, different lessons, and I thought that was the hardest time in my life almost was switching from grade school to high school because of that. And it was only 6 weeks. In the last 6 weeks, everything else had been done, you might say, and I wasn't familiar with the system or even the lessons, and I thought it was really hard for that reason.
Yeah. How was it in high school? Did you have fun in high school?
Oh, did I have fun? Oh, I'd say I had fun. I had kind of a special girlfriend, and we had, I guess we had parties or whatever you call them, and boys and girls were together, and we danced and things like that.
Yeah.
We never had a band, that was always a record.
Record?
Yeah.
I'll be darned. Yeah. I didn't know that either. Are you making up stories?
Well, you can believe it all, I tell you is the truth.
Yeah. All right.
We used to dance just to a record, and if we got too noisy, my dad always hollered up the stairs, down up there.
How about that? Well, did you date a bunch of people in high school?
No, I kind of had a special boyfriend,
Ah.
Howard West,
Ah.
and I dated him for quite a while.
Ah.
I don't remember dating anybody. I dated Ray Gregory once in a while, and he was a nice Catholic boy, can't think who else. But those were the two main ones.
Yeah. You said you had a girlfriend in high school. Who was that?
Well, Betty Bell Hawkins was one of them.
All right.
I can't think who else was. Lucille Shaver. I don't mean Shaver. Lucille Smith.
All right.
I was with her an awful lot. She was more with me a lot. She stayed all night at my house a lot.
Okay. All right.
And she lived in the country out east, north and east of Gower, on the country road with her parents.
Uh-huh.
And I was in town, on the north end of town, where Boga lived.
Yeah.
Well, I was pretty close to it. I was just a block from her.
All right. All
I
right.
was a block north and about a half a block north and a half a block
West.
west.
All right. Yeah. I know where it is. I know where you are.
Yeah, it's a old two-story house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It may even still be there. I'm not sure. So.
Oh, it is.
It is?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I'm pretty sure it is too. And it was a good old house, but it was mighty old.
Yeah. Well, the whole family.
I think Gower had nothing but old houses.
Yeah, probably right. Probably right.
Yeah, probably right.
Was Howard Dival Bliss related to Herbie Dival Bliss?
They were related. I cannot tell you the relation, but they were related. Herb and Mildred were just a couple, and they only had one boy. And Eric just loved that boy.
Yeah.
He thought he was the greatest.
Yeah.
Roger.
Roger, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
He was a nice kid.
Yeah, Roger would take me on his Cushman motorcycle that he had from the Army. Yeah.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roger was a nice guy too.
How or where did you meet Luther?
Well, he doesn't believe the story I always tell. I met him at my house, I think it was, and he was with another guy. And he never remembered it. But I remembered it because I remembered him. But he never did remember meeting me there. I thought that was kind of strange.
So.
Maybe they end up with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you met him there, where did you see him after that?
Well, he just always come to see me for some reason. I don't know any particular reason.
Oh, okay.
But he never gave up on me once he started dating me. It was constant. It was just about every day. He'd come around. But,
Well, what did you all do?
well, I don't know if we had the money to go to movies all the time, but we went to a lot of movies. And I don't know what else. I don't know. We didn't have a lot to do, around the little town.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't a dancer, and I loved to dance.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd go downtown to where they danced, and they had booths all around that room
Yeah.
upstairs. And but he had danced, but he danced because I wanted to, not because he wanted to.
Yeah.
And he never did really get a kick out of dancing, it seemed like.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
When did you know that Daddy Luther was the one that you were going to marry?
I got tired of saying no to him. But he asked me for I don't know how many times. But I married him, but I married him. I kept saying no, 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 no. Finally I said yes, and I probably surprised him.
So what are some of your favorite stories to talk about Dad?
Talk about him? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. You should have given me time to think on that. A favorite story on him. Well, one of the favorite funny stories to me was kind of funny. We always had a car, a nice new car, and we always had a load of people to ride with us to work in Alamogordo, New Mexico. And what was I going to say about it? Oh, one of the girls that rode with us always got out, and she puckered up to kiss Luther goodbye, because I always kissed him goodbye. And she always puckered up to kiss him goodbye, never kissed him. I always thought it was kind of funny. But he never failed to kiss me, and she wanted to be in on it, I guess.
So where did you live right after you and Daddy got married?
Well, when we got married, he lived in a room that was in a home, and that home was really a distant relative. I don't know what the relative, how it went. But that's where we stayed for a few nights, about a week or so anyway, till we found someplace. And where did we find? Oh, we had an apartment that was close by there on an upstairs level, was a cheaper. And I can't tell you the address either.
Was that in Kansas City?
Yeah, in Kansas City, just off of Broadway. But I can't tell you.
Well, how long did you live there before Daddy went to Alamogordo to the service?
Oh, let's see. When was he called into service? I can't even think. Oh, I just can't remember the dates or how long it was. It was a little while, not very long. It was probably 8 months. I don't remember for sure.
So then you moved to Alamogordo and Daddy went to the Army. Then
Well,
what?
they moved him to Alamogordo, and then I went down, but he picked up a couple for friends that were from Nebraska, and he and that guy walked the streets trying to find some place to stay, because he knew I was coming down a certain time. And we stayed in a room for 8 months of a couple, an older couple that was well, I don't know how old they were. They were probably close to 80, 70 something, probably. I don't remember how old they were. And we stayed in the room for 8 months.
Was that the Grants? The Grants?
No.
I don't know if it was or not. Well, we lived with the Grants though for quite a long time before we found a apartment or rooms or whatever we had there.
Let me ask, back when you and Dad were married and you were living in the city, where was Dad working?
Oh, he was working at Pepper Seed Company,
Uh-huh.
and he worked there for quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And he worked there when we got married. He worked there after we were married. I don't know how long, but
What did you do while Dad was working at Peppard Seed?
I was a secretary in an insurance company.
Oh.
Is that when you went to school?
Was that what?
Is that when you went to college to get your
I just went to
secretary?
business college, and it was before I went to college. I mean, it was after I went to business college. Yeah. I believe, basic you said, didn't you?
Basic training.
I believe it was in a Texas town.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we went to Alamogordo. They sent him to Alamogordo.
Right.
Yeah.
How long before you been out there with him?
Oh, not very long, because he and his friend from Nebraska found a place where we could stay.
All right.
What 3 words would you say represented your approach to parenting?
Well, I remember one thing I always said I was going to do. I was going to have you kids know something to do, a helper job, and you were going to do it. Well, with us, Mom would say, go do this or that. Then she'd say, oh, I'll do it. I can do it faster than you can. And She took over our jobs that she wanted to assign to us, I guess. And I thought that was wrong.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
I'm thinking about your always being steadfast and seeing that we went to church every Sunday.
Yes, you did. You went to church every Sunday because I insisted that you go. And
Well, that's,
you never gave me any problems. You all always went.
Yeah.
And seemed to enjoy it. And you remember your teacher?
Oh, I had several of them, yeah. I had Mrs. Kramer for one teacher.
Yeah, you did.
I had Mr. Swope for one teacher.
Miss Swope was what I was thinking of.
Mr. Swope,
Yeah.
yeah.
well, I always thought that growing up that you thought obedience was very important.
Well, it was, yeah. I probably did. I don't remember that, but
Of a person did you
well,
try
I tried to be the best mother I knew how.
Like your mom?
Huh?
Like your mom?
Oh, like my mom?
Mhm.
Yeah. She was a good mother.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How do you want to be remembered?
As a good mother. So I may not be remembered that way, but I hope so.
Well, I think that's a given, yeah.
Raising 3 kids.
Hmm.
Yeah. And they're all good kids. I'm always proud of the fact that they're all good kids. Because I've had some friends in the past that had trouble with their kids. You know, one way or another. They either got in trouble or they did something they shouldn't, you know.
What are you most thankful for?
Oh, I guess I'm most thankful for my husband and family. And grandkids.
What was one of the best decisions that you ever made?
Well, probably marrying Luther.
Really? Ah.
Can you think of another one that was a big
I
decision?
can't think of another one. I don't know. I used to think, and I don't know that I didn't thought of it then any time, that I would save something each month out of a paycheck. And but I don't know if that was true either.
When did Daddy decide to start the welding shop?
To sell the welding
To
shop.
start the welding shop? When did Daddy decide to?
When? In 1952, I believe it was, wasn't it? I'm not real sure. In the 52.
1950.
1950.
Oh, 52. Okay. And what did you have?
Yeah, what was Dad,
Or-
what was Dad doing before he bought the welding shop?
Well, he was working in the shop, as I remember.
I thought he worked at the quarry. I thought he was a mechanic at the quarry.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I don't think so. What else?
Well,
did
I
you-
thought he was farming with Grandpa because he
Yeah,
was
he-
picking
he-
corn when Bill was born.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was farming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was born 5 years before he bought the
Yeah,
shop.
I think
Yeah.
he was helping Granddad on the farm,
Yeah,
part-time anyway.
he was, and Helen went out to get him. Yeah. His sister, yeah. And Don Carter came to him and said, "What would you be interested in buying with me the shop?" And that's how it all came about, was through Don Carter
Mhm.
in the beginning. Because he was interested and he needed a partner to help pay the other half of the shop. And of course, he and Luther worked together, and they both knew each other well, so it worked out okay.
Dad and Don were together, I think, about 5 years before Dad bought Don out.
You know, I can't remember when they bought it, and change hands like that. I just can't honestly remember the year.
Yeah. I don't remember the year so much, I think it was about 5 years.
I think so too,
Yeah,
probably.
I don't know why Dad, I don't know why Don went out of the business or
He was
why.
sick,
But,
Don was sick.
that's right.
Yeah, he had cancer
Yeah,
Yeah.
Don had cancer, that's right,
and knew he couldn't get over it.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I have a,
Oh, golly. When we ever got out, we always just lived at his house. And we went back and forth to my house, my parents' house.
when did you move to Plattsburgh?
Oh, I don't know that one right quick on the, I can't remember when.
I was 2 years old and.
You were what?
I was 2,
You were 2, well then you can figure that out.
huh?
I said you can figure that out.
Yeah, and you moved to the house that was just west of Don and Alta Carter's house.
West. Well, Don and Alta lived right, our fences were together and it was east. They were right against us on the east side.
Right.
I thought you said west.
No, your house was just west of
Oh,
there.
our house was
Yeah.
west,
Yeah.
right next, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I may have been less than
You may
2.
have been what?
I may have been younger
so.
than 2.
Because you moved to Plattsburgh you moved to the Maple Street house on Maple Street? And
No, that wasn't Maple Street.
No.
No, I said when you moved to the house
Oh.
on Maple Street, that was in 47.
That the year you were
1947.
born?
Are you sure?
I was 6 months old, she told me.
What?
You always told me I was 6 months old when we moved to the house on
I always
Maple
told you
Street.
that. I'm glad you
Mhm.
remembered that. I couldn't remember when it was exactly. Well, if you were 6 months old, you were born in October. We moved there in March, Jim,
Maybe
yours.
48 then, 1948. Maybe in 1948, Mother.
We moved there in 48. I'd have to think a while or something. Okay, I believe you. 48. Say what?
Do you have a favorite story to tell about Eric?
To tell about Eric? Let's see. I remember one time he got mad at me, and he said he's going to Grandpa's, and I caught him about halfway down the road on the highway going to Grandpa's. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you got mad at me about. That might have been the best part of the story.
Do you have a favorite story to tell about me?
Oh, probably lots of them, if I could think of one. Let's see, a favorite story to tell about Donna. Can you think what it might have been? A favorite story. What would it? My favorite one that I remember most is when she ran off.
Mm.
She walked off,
Mm.
and I didn't know, and she didn't tell me.
Mm-hmm.
And she and Linda Simpson
Mm-hmm.
were gone all day about, and we looked and looked, and I was beginning to get really worried. Couldn't find her.
I remember.
And she and Linda walked. Where did you go to?
To a field.
Huh?
Out to a field.
Out to a field and just. I thought you was on that creek.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. And that's what it scared me to death because I'm beginning to think I'm not going to find her.
Yeah.
You didn't tell a favorite story about Bill.
Oh my, there's too many favorites about Bill.
Well, tell one.
What
Well,
about when
I
he-
don't know of any. I'm not trying to think.
What about when he locked Aunt Virginia out of the house?
Well, yeah, I was taking care of Virginia. And I guess her parents came after him. No,
No, I'm not sure what you all are talking about here.
you don't know what we're talking about.
No, I don't think so.
I do.
Oh, you do?
I've heard this story.
Mm-hmm. Bill was about 2 years old,
Yeah,
and Aunt Virginia went outside to get something, and I was on the bed with a baby bottle, and he locks the door and locked Aunt Virginia out, and he goes in and drinks my bottle, and then goes and lets Aunt Virginia back in. And you've told that sack for a long time.
wasn't he a stinker?
Yeah.
Well, I never saw three kids have teeth alike until all three of you were laughing then at the same time.
Alright.
Huh.
I think we get that from you, Mom. I do.
One of the happiest times.
Yeah.
Well, probably one of the happiest time might have been when I would take off and go to Minnesota with Luther,
Ah.
probably.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd stay up there see all summer. And I'd go up on my vacation and I'd have 2 weeks at least.
Mm-hmm.
No more, maybe 3, but I think I always had 2 weeks. And I would just spend them up there with him.
Mm-hmm. And what would you do?
Well, you know, he's a little bit like Luther. He kind of liked to go places, and we'd go to Old Mexico and El Paso and maybe White Sands and picnic and I don't know what else offhand.
Did you go fishing in Minnesota?
Oh yes, we went fishing and I caught the biggest fish I ever caught. I think it was an 8-pound fish,
Wow.
and it was about that long,
Wow.
kind of fat long, and it was fun to get excited about getting a fish.
Yeah.
Just catching a fish was kind of exciting because everybody didn't catch fish. They kind of like it is here.
Yeah.
But we always went to a lake,
Yeah.
a big lake,
Mm-hmm.
and that was fun.
Yeah.
What?
Was it a walleye or a muskie?
Oh no, it was walleye.
Walleye?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Did you eat
That-
it?
Probably. I cooked and ate a lot of fish. Because we did fish a lot. And maybe that's why I got needed blood, because when we got home every evening after work, they'd say, let's go fishing, and we'd go.
What do you remember about going out to Hardtail Lakes?
Well, I remember I going out to Hardtail Lakes.
Yeah,
Well, we'd
family
have
picnics?
picnics sometimes. I'd just take supper to go. It was after work. And we'd fish. And we fished quite a bit where where you all get out there on the swing up and down and jump off.
Yeah, diving board. Yeah.
Huh?
Diving board.
The diving board.
And Virginia rode the train from Plattsburgh to St. Joe one time.
Okay.
Was Virginia with me?
Well, maybe
We
not.
went to her house.
Right, we may have met her in you're right, we did meet Aunt Virginia in St. Joe.
Yeah, we went to her house in St.
Right.
Joe. And the funny part was the train stalled about 2 blocks in the car we were in
Uh-huh.
from Virginia's house, but they wouldn't let us off to walk over there. We had to walk a long ways.
I'll be darned.
Whenever they took us clear on into to the station,
Uh-huh.
well, it was quite a long ways that we went and walked back.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't let us off of one regular official place to let off.
Stop.
I rode the train from Gower to St. Joe
Okay.
when I was a kid, or from Fraser to St. Joe, I believe it was.
Hmm.
And I don't know what it cost.
Hmm.
Wasn't very much, but I don't. But it was probably a lot out of their parents' pocketbook. because, you know, people.
I had never heard that one before. I never heard about you riding a train from Fragrant to St. Joe.
Oh, I think I did. Oh, yeah.
How about that?
Well, we did have a car, I think. I don't know whether we had a car at that time or not. But we had a car, an old Dodge.
Mhm.
And all our family got in, it was a carload.
Yeah, I bet. 7 kids, yeah. That'd be a bunch.
Yeah.
I had a chance to sit down right now with Erica and Zoe
Oh,
and Eloise and Miles and Nia. What would you want to say
And
to
Faith.
them?
what would I
And
find?
Faith,
And Faith. What would you want to say to them?
What did he
what would you like to say to all of your grandchildren?
Oh, well, the first thing I'd like to say is always mind your parents the best you can, because they would tell you the best they knew how to, for the answer to their problem, or if they got into a problem of some sort, answer them the best you know how.
Anything else you'd like to say to them?
To you three,
No, yes, us too.
well, just keep on doing what you've been doing that way. Do the best you can, and I think you do a good job. Because they're all good kids,
Yeah.
and I don't think you have problem children.
No, don't seem to.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Do you think you do? You don't, I know you don't. Well, I want them to be honest always. If they're honest, I think that whatever the problem is, will turn out right. And if it's not honest, then it'll eventually come to the top that it was not a true story. Be good children to their parents is another one. I mean, be honest to the parents and do what you're told, because what you're told is what they think is the best.